It's off the charts in conjunction with the ML Sports Platter brought to you by CH Insurance. They are in your corner, chinsurance.cc for the website, of course, interactive on the website. Get them on the social media as well. And my goodness, has it been a busy last month in Central New York with, I don't know, winter weather. John Sereno, Joe Jr. Guys, welcome back. How are you?
Doing well, Mike.
Michael,
good to
how
be
are
back.
you?
Good to be back.
First of all, Mike, how much snow do you have up there?
Well, a lot of it has melted, but during that stretch, it was, it was probably 3.5, 4 feet in about 22 hours. And then it was another 4 and 5 and 6. And so we probably did get 5-ish feet, 5+ feet in about 2 days, 2.5 days. But then up north was another 2+ feet, 3 miles from where I am, and all the lakes kind of converged. And, obviously I was a failure at science school, but yeah, it just kept snowing in like a 4-mile radius, just kept snowing and snowing. So, a couple of my friends, a couple of my pals, they got almost 8 feet at their places. So,
wow. That's amazing. I mean, I haven't touched my snowblower I mean, 2 times a day. I mean, it was twice a day. I mean, I haven't touched over the past couple of years. I've used it maybe once or twice.
I know.
I know. I just shovel the walkway, John and Mike. I shovel the walkway. It was very high.
Yeah. I could see you out there rolling, just doing log rolls.
Yeah, it helps the swing. I was just talking to John Sereno Jr.
Mm-hmm.
He was giving us an update, and I don't know if you know this. Over 85 claims in the month of February.
Yeah.
And Mike, it's not just the normal fender benders that we see day to day.
Sure.
I'd like to just give our listeners a little behind the scenes. I've never seen, we've had collapses, and we've seen it all on the news with the weight of snow and ice. People are calling us. Do I go in there? What do I do? I mean, I've never seen anything like it, probably in a long time with situations of claims on what to do with collapses, with things in barns, sheds, secondary homes. It was devastating. But John Jr. did a great job guiding everybody through the process. As you know, we facilitate it, we listen, we provide them the analysis, get the claim paid, and make sure the insurance company is doing the right thing for that business or family member.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, Mike, it's incumbent upon a homeowner to protect the property. But when you have that much snow, it's impossible to get up on a roof and shovel it off. You know what I mean? So we've had, needless to say, as Junior just mentioned, numerous claims. Water's coming in from my roof. I need a new roof. You may not need a new roof. What's happening is the water, as it's melting and it's frozen down below, it gets up above the water and ice barrier of your roof, and it comes down in under the sheathing, and you'll get it down your sheetrock and in a living room or in a bedroom, in a kitchen, wherever water goes. I mean, you can't control that. It finds cracks.
Water's
and it just goes
good.
all over.
And that's called ice damming, Mike. We've had a few of them this week as it warmed up a little bit, and then it gets cold again, and you come in from a day's work and drip, and it's not bad, but it's on the wall and you got to get it fixed. So that's all part of the insurance. There's a lot of proactive people out there that, don't rake and snow shovel your own house. There's professionals that do it, and they've been very busy, and it helps from a pre-loss standpoint to maybe minimize some of it.
Correct.
See, what people don't know is I had these guys just go up on my roof with 2 5-irons and I just had you guys clubbing up there, and so the snow came off my roof within 4 to 6 hours. I mean, it was
The shoulder
that simple.
shoulder and the back is feeling a little sore.
I know.
Right.
Well, thanks
John
for doing
probably
that.
use a 700.
Yeah, things were just flying off of there. So the question I have before we move to a little FU sports is, somebody needs something. Obviously, you guys are bang with it, right? You call, there's a live voice. It's an immediate thing, right? I mean, it's turnkey. I mean, they noticed problem, boom, call CH. I mean, it happens. The steps go right in order, right? I mean, there's no time wasted here.
Well, no, I think, the first call should be to us, your agent.
Or they call the insurance company and we get a copy.
And we get a copy. But ideally, we would like to know ahead of time. We can sort of put you down the road as to what you need to do to mitigate the loss, to mitigate the damages, and then get involved and be the conduit between you and the insurance company to help you through the process. We can talk. We can talk coverages with you. We can talk what you could expect from what's going to be covered to what's not going to be covered, because 100% of it probably will not be covered, but we try to get the majority of it under some sort of coverage so that you're sort of made whole.
Right. Like Mike, some examples. People are all frantic, right? I think you have some affiliations in Camden, 300 inches of snow. There was a collapse up there. My client calls me. He goes, "Do I have to go in? I got to go in there." I go, "No. First thing you have to do is be safe. You can't go in there." He goes, "What do I do?" Take pictures, right? Take photos. If you can't get in there, we all have iPhones, smartphones. Take a picture. That goes to the agent. We send it to
you guys,
right. We send it to the agent. Then he started to worry about the inventory in there. I got an antique car. I got snowmobiles.
Yeah.
Those are on probably separate policies, Mike, right? They're an auto policy and a ATV or specialty coverage that aren't necessarily on the same insurance carrier that could be writing those two things. So there's a lot of moving parts. The first thing is be safe, calm them down, and know they're going to get taken care of. And that's really what we do. And John's son is terrific about doing. Terrific.
Yeah, I mean, it does get scary, and it does get a little panicky too, because you're looking out and it won't stop coming down. And after like 2 or 3 feet of it, knowing you're going to get another 12 and another 12, I think it'd be different if it was, okay, it's 18 inches, because we get these winters. This has actually been an average winter when you look at the total snowfall. We haven't had a lot in 4 years, John, as you alluded to. But the reality is it's not over the course of time beginning to end with the normal snowstorms. It's 5-6 feet within 2 days. It's a much different thing when you get it over the course of the year. But where did you get it? You got it, but where? You get 100 inches over the year, but then you get another 5 feet on top of that within 3 days, 2 days. And I think that's where a lot of people need that, kind of that calming voice to tell them while they're watching the snow just come down.
While they're watching it. And Mike, last piece, and we'll get off of insurance, but it's at the business owners too. People, the employees were helping shoveling. They're helping dig someone out. Okay. We had a couple claims where not the employees trying to help somebody, they slip and fall. That's workers' comp. And they're like, no, it's healthy. I go, it's on the job. So we had a lot of activity in the commercial world. I just don't want you to think it's personal. And then the normal fender benders with snow and ice and Route 81 and all of that. So, understand your program, know who you're dealing with, hopefully not an 800 number, have someone in your corner that is going to help you through a process.
Yeah, no doubt about it. CHinsurance.cc for more, and give them a call on a daily basis. Guys, recently a wire-to-wire win. I know it hasn't been the season that SU fans had hoped, but Syracuse, they've actually been a really good rebounding team all year long, which is crazy. They've had some of those margins, but in this game against NC State, and I know there's going to be a game in between, when this airs and we're talking, but I thought one of the keys was they caught it and dished it, and they got up the floor. The transition was there. Starling was great down the stretch. I want to see more of that coming up, especially with this young group coming in next year. We know we all grew up on Pearl and Sherm, and I know it's not the old days with 30,000 in the blue curtain, all that, but Syracuse basketball around the country, people think of it as get the board and go. And Sherm to Stevie all through the years, and going into every point guard that they've had and all the finishers at the rim that they've had. Orange basketball is catch and run, get in transition, and that was a big reason I thought they won wire to wire over NC State.
No, I agree. I mean, they were, how do I say? I mean, the turnovers were down. They didn't have a lot of turnovers, well balanced in the scoring column. I mean, they had 3 guys in double digits. One guy at 8 points, another one at 7. So
Eddie, another double-double.
You could have almost had 5 guys in double digits for scoring. I mean, it took a little bit for JJ to get going, but like you said, down in the stretch is when he got his points.
And the one thing I noticed, our defense was higher, Michael. Man to man, they were up there. I mean, it looked like a different team on the defensive end. Now we got beat a little bit, but I noticed the guard play was up above the free throw line. I think we got to pick them up there. It creates more up tempo. Now, NC State, I mean, Nazareth University might have beat NC State, Mike.
Here we go.
I don't know. But I liked the D. It's one thing I told you, but could this be a little irony? NC State last year, Cuse this year, Michael. We're moving. I don't know if we clinched the ACC tournament. Do we need one more, or are we in?
Yeah, well, we still have, the picture still being painted there, right? I mean, in the college,
we're still alive.
Of course, yeah. And I mean, obviously, NC State had Burns, the big kid who could play inside and out. And Joe, you and I were talking on the phone the other night about just how that whole thing happened, the run to the Final Four. I mean, you have a hot seat for the head coach. They're pretty much dead. The kid at Virginia misses the free throws, and NC State comes down, nails his shot, and they never look back. And next thing you know, they're in the Final Four. So those things can happen. This Syracuse team is not doing that, I will tell you right now, because the makeup and the consistent 40 minutes, John, that you and I texted about months ago is just not there for me. They've got to figure out a way, I guess, maybe next year and in the future. And I'm not saying it's easy, but this whole NIL portal thing, new kids coming in and all that, it's really mixed because people want to make it like by March, you have to figure this out and that out. But do you? Because these players haven't played together for 2 or 3 years. So technically the preseason is what is the preseason? And then when you play October, November, December, in the old days, it might have been the 2nd or 3rd year of doing it. Now it's only 3 months in, and guys have new roles. Things change. Maybe they're promised minutes from another school. They were a superstar at a place. They come in, they're given 20 minutes. They want 25 because they can get a black bag somewhere next year, So it's all these things, all these balls in the air. And I got to tell you, I mean, being a head coach in today's climate, man, I don't know how some of these guys are doing it.
Not easy.
It makes it difficult, and we were talking about it. I mean, even when you watch games across America, Arizona, Auburn, whoever, Kansas, you used to know players. Now it's like you're rooting for the team, but that's why I think it'll be a different March Madness, I think. Anyone could win. I don't know.
I mean, I think you got so much more parity now because of the, people jumping around, and there's a lot more parity in teams. I mean, yeah, Duke is looking great, right? I mean, they're strong. But you got some other teams out there that are just as strong, but you're right. It's a toss up. I can't tell you who's going to win that.
SEC. I like Michigan, but has Duke really played anybody? I don't, that's a
I don't see in the parity thing for me. That's one area where the NIL portal has zero impact because the parity in college basketball is going to be there unless you form a mate like 05, 05 North Carolina. You get 2004 UConn with Okafor and Ben Gordon. You get 2012 Kentucky with Anthony Davis and that crew, Kid Gilchrist. They were the first 2 picks in the NBA draft. Mostly you're going to get parity. And even in the one and done era, you had some parity, but you still had some dominant teams. So I don't know. I think the parity is going to be there no matter what, unless you get one of those type clubs also, whether people in Central New York, well, most of them hate UConn, it does give an extra tip of the cap to Dan Hurley and UConn for winning 2 titles back-to-back in this climate. I mean, for all the parity that we've had, folks, if they were to make another run and go to a Final Four and make, God, they're not going to win it this year again, but let's say they did a three-peat, that would be a dynasty. That's what that's called in your parity world, right? So it's crazy, but you're still going to see 2s and 3s upset all the time, no matter if there's NIL or portal or not. I mean, parity is going to exist no matter what. It's just until you get that major dominant team, which comes along once every, 7 to 10 years. But, but they're less common. I think they're less common. Yeah, but I think they're less common to your argument, John. I think they're less common.
You're right. You're right. So we're into March.
Yep.
March Madness, ACC tournament, St. Patty's Day. Golf around the horizon.
How far do you have to go to say the word golf, Joe Jr.?
There was the fifth. So
give me a new one.
And hopefully some warmer weather and less claims out there in Central New York.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll definitely get a hold of my friends, ML Sports Platter, title sponsor, CH Insurance at chinsurance.cc. It's off the charts with Joe Jr. and John Sereno. We went a little bit longer, but we needed to. A lot of important information in there, and you can get them again at chinsurance.cc. The personal and commercial insurance plans. You got some winter damage. You need some help there still from all that snow. Get a hold of my friends at CH Insurance. Guys, thanks for going off the charts here on the Platter, and we'll talk to you real soon, all right?
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Michael.